It's time for John Coggeshall, and pardon me for all seeking pardons, parole, clemency, inmates deserving, who could be serving too much time for what they did. It's time for John Coggeshall, and pardon me for all seeking.
Hi everybody, it's John Coggeshall. Everybody calls me Cog, and this is my Cogcast. Today, we're going to be learning about a deserving pardon petitioner named Travion Blount, and I would like to read to you his letter to the governor. My name is Travion Blount, and as a juvenile, I was sentenced to 118 years plus 6 consecutive life terms for a non-homicide robbery. I did not physically hurt anyone during the robbery. It lasted only a few minutes. While I take full responsibility for my actions, as a teenager, I was easily persuaded by adult peers. I allowed negative people to make decisions for me that led to these crimes. I regret each day that I tagged along for that robbery. It was 10 or 20 minutes. It negatively affected the lives of others, as well as my own life and the lives of my entire family. I'm 26 years old when I write this to you, Governor, and I've spent over a decade in maximum security prisons. Growing up incarcerated isn't easy. You grow up fast, confronted with things that most young adults should never experience. All the activities that a teenager should experience were missed. Graduating from high school didn't happen. High school prom didn't happen. Attending games and dating, no way. Currently, I take GED classes in my cell, and I'm trying to obtain a brick mason certification. But nothing in prison equals real-life high school activities, birthdays, holidays, and special events that most teenagers take for granted, but they still learn positive things from. I often think about the crimes we committed and wish I could apologize to the victims. I would tell them that I am very sorry for what we put them through for those 10 to 15 minutes. And if I could, everything would be taken back. I know my apology won't change what happened, but they need to know how remorseful I am. Growing up, maturing, making constructive decisions, and becoming a better person, I see life differently now. No longer crippled by the follower mentality I had as a child. Being incarcerated has also had a major impact on my family. Currently, a lifetime of prison visits is the only way we'll ever have face-to-face relationships. And over the years, the facilities I've been placed in are all located very far from any family I have. I'm the father of 2 beautiful little girls conceived before I got incarcerated. They know I am their father, and we speak on the phone from time to time, but because of the distance, they've only visited twice. It truly breaks my heart to not be a part of their everyday lives. I've done this time the best way I can by working to be a better person, self-educating by reading prison library books and borrowing books from other offenders. I wish I could say I have added a bunch of certifications to my list of accomplishments, but sadly, when serving multiple life terms, it's not always allowed. Our legal system continues to deal with my unusual case, and you're just not allowed the benefit of available self-help courses when serving this kind of time. I try to spend as much time as possible learning from prison elders, and I attend bi-weekly services to obtain knowledge and an understanding of the outside world. I would like to add that I had a very special lady in my life. And fact is, I still have a very special lady in my life. She encourages me and pushes me to do better every day. It's a great feeling to have someone help you through tough situations. I'm very grateful that I have such a loving, caring, strong, and thoughtful woman in my life. Through this darkness, she brings hope and so much light. We're planning to eventually marry. If given a second chance at life and freedom, I would be involved in the lives of my children by always setting a good example. My hope is to go back to school, to get a degree, to mentor at-risk youth groups, and to work in the building construction field as a brick mason. I want to prove to everyone who sacrificed their time and tears fighting for my freedom that I can be a productive member of society. I ask for mercy and a second chance. I take responsibility for the crimes I committed. I've served almost 11 years as of the writing of this letter to you, Governor, and one of my co-defendants, the adult leader who conceived these crimes, has already gone home. My other adult co-defendant will be released next year. I'm asking for a reduction of my sentence to a sentence that is near equal to my co-defendants. Many juvenile lifers are now receiving reduced sentences with cases far more severe than mine. Well, thank you for your time, Governor. It is greatly appreciated. I am no longer that 15-year-old immature boy who was so easily convinced to do wrong. I am now a 26-year-old mature man who can think for himself and who wants to make a positive difference in this world. Sincerely, Travion Blount. I'd like to tell you some facts about the case of Travion Blount. He was sentenced in 2008 at the age of 16 to 6 consecutive life terms plus 118 years for following 2 adults into a 15-minute robbery at a house party. Travion, who was only 15 at the time, physically harmed no one. In fact, no shots were fired and no one was killed, maimed, or molested in any way. The 3 netted 2 purses, a wallet, a set of keys, $60 in cash, and a couple of marijuana joints. But because of the number of victims, 12, at the party, Travion and 2 adults were charged with 4 felonies for each crime: robbery, use of a firearm in commission of a robbery, abduction, and use of a firearm in that abduction, plus conspiracy and 2 other charges for which Travion was acquitted by the jury. His co-defendants took plea deals and each received substantially shorter sentences. The mastermind of the crime was released 2 years ago. The other adult is scheduled for release in 2018. Travion did not take a plea agreement, so his case went to a jury trial. And the judge presiding over that trial gave Travion this incredible sentence. Judges sentence juveniles in Virginia. Juries can only find them guilty. In 2010, the Supreme Court held in a case called Graham versus Florida that a juvenile cannot be sentenced to life without parole for a non-homicide offense. But the Commonwealth of Virginia argued that in this state, in this Commonwealth, the right to request geriatric release at 60 is sufficient for the purposes of Graham. Then, a former governor of Virginia, McDonnell, issued Travion a commutation in 2014, reducing his sentence to 40 years. Still, his 2 defendants got 10 and 13 years, and they were the masterminds. A partial pardon hurt Travion's chances of getting out because he was no longer a lifer. But when he entered prison as a lifer, he had some initial difficulties. Anyway, the good news about all this is, on January 12th, 2018, then Governor Terry McAuliffe pardon Travion Blount. He has tremendous support from all over the world. 14,000 signatures on his online petition, 5,000 supporters on Facebook. His case has been the subject of the New Yorker magazine and the New York Times and 9 front-page articles in the Virginian Pilot. After fulfilling the conditions of his pardon and completing a re-entry program, as I said, with great pride, Travion walked out of prison a free man during the summer of 2020. I'd like to share with you a letter that one of the victims at that house party wrote when Travion Blount was incarcerated. It's by a man named Alexander who was at that house party. And he writes, "I'd like to see if I can help get Travion Blount's sentence reduced to something reasonable. I was a victim of the incident, and I think he should be free. The 2 others involved are already out. They were the most violent in the incident, and they were the ones that had weapons. I remember Travion pleading with the older fellas to leave. He kept saying, 'Let's go, let's leave.' But the others insisted on running everyone's pockets. Travion practically never spoke and was just there. The older dudes kept searching. He wanted to leave, pleading with them to leave. I think he should be let go." Well, Alexander, your prayers were answered. My prayers were answered. And Travion is today a free man. He's doing really well. He's studying. He's trying to get started in a business. And I just can't be prouder. That's my show for today, folks. We hope to see you again soon. This is John Cogshaw. Everybody calls me Cog. And next time we'll talk about another deserving pardon petitioner. See you then.